So beside me here, I have the 2026 Cadillac Optiq Sport here in radiant red. We're gonna do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. So in front of me here, I have the 2026 Cadillac Optiq Sport here in radiant red. And might I say, the red on this vehicle looks really good. So we'll start with some specs here. So this is an all-wheel drive. So you're gonna get 440 horsepower and 498 pound-feet of torque. This is an 85 kilowatt-hour battery, and you are going to get about 303 miles of range, which is just about 500 kilometers. That is really it for the specs here. We'll start here at the front. So you're gonna get these LED daytime running lights with LED lights. Now in the center here, you can see we've got a lit up grille with a Cadillac logo that is also lit up. So the front end of this vehicle, I think, looks pretty good, especially at nighttime. And as you can see, there is a lit up Cadillac logo there on the back of the screen. You're gonna get a front camera, which is just over here on the bumper, and you're gonna get also your parking sensors down below. But you can see it's kind of got a two-tone color combination with some black and then also some red with some gray also here at the front of the hood. But like I said, I think the front end of the Optiq looks really good from a design point of view. Now this light here is actually your turn signal light as well. That's it at the front here. I'll show you guys what's underneath the hood here since there is no frunk on this electric SUV. So this is what underneath the Cadillac Optiq looks like. So there used to be a plastic cover on some of these components, but it looks like it's just more exposed now. So we can see we've got your 12-volt battery, you got your coolant reservoir here, and this looks like your brake fluid as well. But that is really all I know here. I think there should be washer fluid here. There it is. Washer fluid's also on this side too, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like underneath here. So let's take a look around the Optiq and go over its details. So let's take a look around the Cadillac Optiq here, and we'll start with the tire and wheel setup. So we're sitting on a 20-inch wheel. 245/50 R20 is the tire size. We've got a brushed aluminum face with some black inserts around it. We've got the Cadillac logo there right in the center for your center cap, carpeted liner inside, and then we've got that kind of black lining at the bottom here where the fender is, and then also the bottom where the rocker is. Now this vehicle does not sit on air suspension. We also can see we've got the Cadillac logo here on the fender, blacked out mirror cap, camera underneath, and then a light indication for your turn signal. Now the 360 camera comes standard on the Optiq. Here's what a side profile view of the Optiq looks like. So as you can notice, it does have a slouch at the back here. It's sleek, I would say, but I would also mention that the roof line is pretty small. So, I mean, I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and I can see, you know, just above the top. Now we do get keyless entry on the two front doors here. This here is actually a decal that does come standard. You cannot option it without the decal. You might have to tint it out, but from a side profile view, I think it looks good. We also have that black roof, so it goes well with the two-tone at the bottom and the top. Now over here, we'll take a look. This is the door handle when it's open, so you can just grab it just like that. And then this is what the inside looks like here. So we'll start here with the door panel. We've got some fabric here at the top. We've got your seat adjustments here with lumbar support, heated seats. On this one in particular, you can get cooled seat options. You also have that white stitching here with some black leather. And then here we've got your cheese grater of a speaker with AKG there as well, but all soft inside here. Over here on the door sill, we've got the Cadillac logo there. And then here is what the seats look like. So nice, soft, and plush. You can see a little bit more of that fabric on both sides of the seats. No speakers in these headrests specifically. We also got white stitching there as well. And then here's what the dash looks like. So nice soft touch. We've got more of that fabric here and then also over here. Now this is what the floating console looks like. So you're gonna get more of that fabric here and then more soft material here if you wanna put things. So, and then this one does have a fixed roof. So this one does not open. Now that is here at the front. We'll take a look at the back here. Now this is what the back looks like. So all soft here. So we've got your white stitching with black leather as we can see. So the seats themselves are very nice and plush. And then here's what the door panel looks like. So more of that fabric, AKG speaker here, lock and unlock with window control, and then more of that kind of soft material here with some white stitching. Inside here, we've got your vents, and then we've got two USB-Cs, and then we've got a 120 plug. So that is really it at the back here. And then as you can see, that fixed roof opens up a lot more light back here. But one thing I've noticed, which I'll show you guys, is just how small the roof is. Now I'll show you guys how I would get in here as someone who's about 5'10", 5'11". All right, so before we hop in, I wanted to show you guys me standing beside it. I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and I can definitely see over, you know, the roof of the Optiq. So one thing to note, if you are taller, getting in and out may be a little bit of a pain because it does sit a little low. Nonetheless, getting in is very easy. You know, you're not going to really hit your head, I would say, but overall, the seat themselves are pretty comfy. I've got a decent amount of room here too. It's, you know, the back of the seat actually looks decent too. You got this white stitching here, and it looks like it is and feels a little bit like a soft touch material. You've got your vents back here. you got your 120 and 2 USB-C plugs. The headroom is not bad. I got about 3 inches, I would say, of room. So if you are taller, you know, that's good to note. I personally would say though, I don't think I would sit back here for a long period of time. I think it is a little crowding. I've got a light up here. There's 4 speakers in each side of where the seats are, but yeah, it's okay. And then getting out, you just gotta pull yourself out. There's no handle, but let me know what you guys think. Now, I hope that answered most people's questions about, you know, room back there and height of the vehicle. Then here's a look at that back tire and wheel, so same dimensions, carpeted liner inside, and then you can see more of that black trim at the bottom here of the Optiq. So overall, I would say the side profile is pretty nice. So that's it for the side. Let's take a look at that back tailgate. So in the back here of the Cadillac Optiq, we'll start here in the center. We've got your Cadillac logo there. We've got 2 cameras, one here, one here. This one is for your rear camera, and then this one here is for your rear vision camera, which we'll get into. We've got Optiq there on the left, 500 E4 on the right. We've got your parking sensors down on the bumper. As we can see, we've got more of that black trim. On the sides here, we can see we've got really nice LED taillights that carry down. Now this up here is actually your third brake light, so when you push the brake, that will light up. It doesn't have a rear wiper, but you can see here that it is see-through, and this acts like a wing, so when you're driving, essentially, there's a slot there that helps direct things kind of to flow off the back of the windshield. Some people will still may prefer a wiper, but it kind of completes the look without having one, but you still don't get a wiper with the Optiq. Now to open it, all you do is push the bottom of the Cadillac logo, and it will open up just like that. Now there is a decent amount of space, I would say, for an SUV this small. It's just, it kind of compromises a little bit with the sloped sides here, but it is a deep pocket nonetheless. The seats can fold down, so that'll give you more room. You've got 2 lights here, and you also have a 12-volt plug here, 2 pockets here on the side, and then you have more storage down below. This one does not have a spare tire. None of the Optiqs do, but you also can see you've got 2 speakers in each side. Now to close it, all you do is push that, and it will close just like that. So let me know what you guys think so far of the back of the Optiq. Now let's go take a look at those seats behind the driver. I also just want to thank Applewood Cadillac here in Mississauga, Ontario for allowing me to review this Cadillac. Go see my friend Zach here. He'll hook you up with a great deal. All right, so taking a look at the seats behind the driver's side. So they're going to be pretty much the same on this side. So this is what the door panel looks like. You get that nice fabric here, speaker here, door handle, lock and unlock, and then more of that, you know, white stitching with soft touch material here. Nothing here on the door sill. And then this is what the back seats look like. So again, soft and plush with some white stitching. And then over here, like I mentioned to you guys, you've got your 120 plug, 2 USB-Cs, and 2 vents. You do get pocket storage at the back of the seats as well. So that is really it from a back profile view behind the driver. Let's take a look at the front seats. All right, so taking a look at the front seats on the Optiq here. We'll start here with the door panel. So again, you get more of that fabric here. You got memory seating here on the driver's side, which is cool. Your seat adjustments here, heated seats as well. Window and mirror controls, and the mirrors are power folding. You got your AKG speaker here, your Cadillac there on the door sill. And then over here is what the seat looks like. So soft and plush. And you do get that fabric two-tone on both sides. Nothing here at the bottom of the seat, and that is really it. Nothing also here really on this side other than your auto hold button, your tailgate release, and then your parking brake. And then here's your auto dimness for your lights. But overall, that is it, guys. Before we hop in, let's take a look inside. So we are inside the Cadillac Optiq Sport here, and we'll start with the steering wheel. We've got a leather wrap steering wheel here, as we can see. It does come standard with Super Cruise, so all Cadillac Optiqs will come standard with Super Cruise. And you can activate it just by clicking this button here. You have your heated steering wheel button as well, and then just your regular cruise control if you wish. Over here, we'll control your radio tuning knobs. So you've got call hang up, call pickup, tuning for your radio, volume there, and then your voice command if you wish to use it. Now on the left side of the steering wheel here is your regen for braking, so your one pedal driving if you really want to manually do it yourself. And then on the left we got your toggle for your wipers, and then on the right side is your transmission select. So now to change the different displays here of the front screen, you have another screen here which you can click. So if you hit gauge, it'll go tour or sport. You can hit energy, you can hit map, you can hit assist, you can hit clean. So it's just going to depend on what you would like to use. And then over here, you've got your light controls here. So instead of having headlight, you know, like a headlight toggle here, it is actually in the screen, so you can control your headlights. And then this here is basically your trip settings, so you can scroll through depending on what you want. So that is just this screen here. So again, really cool if you want to play around with it. Now this one does not have a heads-up display, but this here is a light that will indicate on the windshield for your forward collision alert. But you can see we've got a speaker here, speaker there, and also a speaker over there. And the dash is pretty big. So I gotta say, from like where you sit to the start of the hood, I gotta say the dash is pretty big. Over here, there's not much going on. We do have that lower glove box area. Now the glove box to open, all you do is push this button here and the glove box will come down just like that. But overall, I gotta say, I think the dash layout looks good. Now this is your front display screen here, and I gotta say it works really well. You can obviously use it as a touchscreen, or you can use this dial here and scroll through the different settings to whatever setting you want. So you can control ambient lighting here, which is pretty cool. You can change the colors, and then we can hit this back button here. So you got more hotkeys here. You got your audio setting there, your phone, your navigation, then your home button, and this is your back button. And then you can go to your camera angles if you want. So we'll just scroll through, hit the camera, and then you can use your finger if you want to, go to different settings. You can hit exit there. It will park itself. So the nice thing about the Cadillac Optiq is the amount of things that come standard on the vehicle. So the 360 camera comes standard. You got the auto park assist too, so it will help park itself. Unfortunately, GM is getting rid of the Apple CarPlay and Android Autos in their more gas-powered vehicles. None of the electric cars do have Apple CarPlay, so that is one thing to note. You have your drive modes here, so you can go Tour, Sport, Snow and Ice, and then a My mode. So a ton of cool options here. And then this here, if you click this, will give you kind of like a 3-section area, so you can have your maps, your audio, and then you can hit the home button. You have more hotkeys here. Now to shut off the vehicle, you can either exit the vehicle and just lock it, it'll shut off, or you can click this button and turn the vehicle off manually. So it just depends on the person. Now this is your one pedal driving button. So when you hit it, you can actually set your level to off, normal, or high. So that is one thing to note, is that you can change the aggressiveness of how the car brakes with the electric motor. That's one thing that I love about Cadillac, is instead of just having one setting, you can have multiple settings. So that is really cool. But overall, I gotta say the inside of the vehicle, is really nice. I also like these little windows that they put here on the A-pillars and the way they've laid out the dash here. Now, the nice thing about this vehicle is they do give you climate control physical buttons. You still can control the climate in the screen, but I like the fact that they've given you physical buttons. Over here, we've got 2 cup holders, we've got your dial there, and then we've got your volume tuning knob there. We've got more storage here as well. Now, I do like the fabric that they've put here and the kind of laminate trim. It looks, kind of blends in all nice together. Then, like I said, you have that little console area underneath here to put things if needed. Now, the center console area here, I would say is long, but it's not that big. It is deep though. So you got 2 more USB-C plugs, and then you have a 12-volt there. And then you have your wireless charging pad here for your phone. You can take this part out and put it back in if you want, but I would say the console area is deep, just not wide. Then up here is your rear camera mirror, which you can turn on or off. You've got your OnStar controls here, and then over here is your sunshade. So you actually can close sunshade on this vehicle. So that is one cool thing that they've done here, because some electric cars have a fixed roof and no sunshade to close. The nice thing is that you do have a sunshade here to close if needed, and then you've got obviously your light here, which is nice ambiance, I would say, inside. So that is really it for the interior, guys. Let me know what you think. I think the Optiq is a really nice vehicle for someone who wants a cheaper, I would say, electric, smaller SUV. But let's go outside, give you guys my final thoughts, and talk price. So let's talk price. 2026 Cadillac Optiq Sport here in Radiant Red, $68,106 Canadian. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Cadillac Optiq. Do you think it serves a purpose, or do you think you should just go with a Lyriq? Curious to know what your thoughts are. That concludes this review, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.